Have you ever done something small thinking it didn't matter, only to discover years later that it changed everything? This is the story of a single decision, a rainy evening, and how one act of kindness rippled far beyond imagination. Ethan had always considered himself an ordinary man, not rich, not famous, just average. He lived in a small apartment in the city, worked a steady office job, and followed the same routine every day. He woke up, drank his coffee, caught the same bus, worked the same hours, and returned home, often too tired to notice the world around him. Life, to Ethan, was safe but predictable. It was comfortable enough, but somehow empty. He sometimes wondered if he was making a difference at all. One late winter evening, Ethan was walking home through the wet streets. Rain poured heavily, the sidewalks were slick, and only a few people hurried along with umbrellas. And then he saw her, an elderly woman struggling with a heavy bag of groceries. Her back was bent, her hands trembling as she tried to keep her balance. The bag slipped slightly, and she nearly fell on the wet pavement. Most people walked past her without noticing. Some muttered a word under their breath. Some simply ignored her. But Ethan! He stopped. He ran toward her and steadied her bag. "Here, let me help you," he said. The woman looked at him, surprised, her face wet with rain. "You're very kind," she whispered. "Thank you so much." Ethan shrugged. "It's nothing," he said. "It's just helping." He handed her bag back, nodded, and walked away. At the time, he thought little of it. It was a small act, almost meaningless. Nothing life-changing, nothing extraordinary. Days passed, weeks passed, months, years. Ethan had forgotten about the incident completely. Life moved on, promotions at work that didn't excite him, bills that piled up, small arguments with neighbors, quiet moments of loneliness. Then, one ordinary afternoon, something extraordinary arrived in his mailbox. A handwritten letter addressed simply, "To the young man who helped me on that rainy evening." Ethan's curiosity immediately spiked. He opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a letter from Mrs. Whitaker, the elderly woman he had helped years ago. Her handwriting trembled slightly, but the words carried warmth and gratitude. She explained that the groceries Ethan had helped her carry included important papers, documents for a scholarship fund for underprivileged children. She had been worried she would drop or lose them, and thanks to Ethan's help, she delivered them on time. She continued to explain that the scholarship had grown over the years, helping hundreds of children finish their education and achieve their dreams. And one of those children, inspired by her work and the kindness she had received, had started a charity in Ethan's city.
The charity had funded community programs, improved schools, and even helped families in Ethan's own neighborhood, directly impacting his life, without him even knowing it. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. A single, small act, something he thought insignificant, had created a ripple effect that transformed lives, including his own. Realistic reflection, emotional depth. 4 days, Ethan thought about what had happened. How often do we underestimate the impact of our choices? How often do we ignore the opportunities to help because we think it's too small, too unimportant? That rainy evening, when he stopped to help a stranger, he had no idea what it would set in motion. He didn't know it would affect hundreds of lives, inspire generations, or even circle back to him in ways he could never have imagined. Sometimes, life works in mysterious ways. Sometimes, what seems small turns out to be monumental. Sometimes, what happens at the end really does change everything. Ending line for narration. So remember, never underestimate the power of a kind act. The smallest decisions, the quietest gestures, the moments you think don't matter, they might be shaping the future in ways you can't see. Kindness, patience, and courage are never wasted. And sometimes, the end brings surprises that change everything, forever.